Tell me what's wrong.
Oh, my lady, there you are. You and that German boy all over again.
The story begins at a wedding. Connie and Clifford were saying their wedding vows, stating that they would be together through sickness and health. After the wedding, Connie changed out of her dress while her sister Hilda voiced concerns, suggesting she could have kept things casual with Clifford, as he might have preferred. With Clifford leaving for battle tomorrow, Connie hoped for something meaningful to happen between them, fearing the regret of leaving things like this. Connie and Hilda go downstairs, where Connie and Clifford danced with each other happily after the wedding. The next day, Connie was saying goodbye to Clifford. He told her to be strong and that they shouldn't make a big deal out of it. He finally went to the battle, which was a very destructive and brutal one. After the battle, Clifford came back, but he had a terrible misfortune as both his legs were paralyzed and he only uses a wheelchair to move around. Connie writes her sister letters with every chance that she gets. They finally arrived at Ragby. They suggested that plenty of work should be done on the house, as well as hiring back everyone that used to work here. Clifford and Connie worked hard to improve the place, leaving Connie too busy to write to her sister. With the full staff transforming the house for the better, Clifford only allowed Connie to assist him personally. His health seemed to improve daily, and he even mentioned returning to novel writing, asking Connie to be his editor. She gladly agreed, also offering to be his proofreader and typist. Later that night, Connie was trying to have an intimate moment with Clifford, which didn't last long because he had interrupted her, saying that he couldn't do it. He apologized for it because he felt bad. Connie wrote to her sister about their situation. However, Connie felt isolated, missing her sister and her lively London life. They occasionally hosted parties with Clifford's bachelor friends and received visits from writers offering advice. Meanwhile, Connie's old friends seemed to distance themselves due to Clifford's misfortune. Connie was constantly feeling lonely, so she was asking her sister if she could ever pay her a visit. Her sister had to stay in London, so Connie had an idea to visit her sister in London. When she discussed this idea with Clifford, he was not happy about it. He told her she would be leaving him all alone in this house, even though she told him that he could manage as the house is full of servants. But Clifford said he specifically wants her.
I don't need servants, Con, I need you.
He suggested her sister, Hilda, would be more than welcome to come and visit them at their home. Disappointed by Clifford's response, Connie decides to go for a walk. Connie went outside and went further, running around in the woods, where she found a stream and even saw a gentleman with his dog. While bathing Clifford, Connie told him about her discovery in the woods and invited him to join her next time. Hesitant, but wanting to please her, he agreed. Clifford then asked if she resented helping him and admitted he sometimes wished he hadn't survived the battle. Connie urged him never to say that again, and they comforted each other tenderly. Clifford suggested she visit the May Day fair happening that day. When Connie went to the fair, people were greeting her and showing kindness to her. A woman holding a child then greeted her. She was a school teacher in the village. Connie saw a number of men passing beside her and protesting. She asked what it was, and the woman told her that they were miners protesting and that this was not their first time. She invited her to come and visit her in Marehay, pointing out how they're both outsiders to the people of the village. Clifford asked Connie if they could go somewhere, and when she asked him where they were going, he told her that she said she always wanted him to join her in one of her walks, so they'd be doing just that. And he asked her to patiently wait, as he has somewhere he would like to show her. The wheelchair was being a bit of a struggle for them, so they asked for a hand from the gamekeeper, a man named Mellors, who works for them. At the spot, Clifford reminisced about spending hours there as a child, calling it one of Midland's finest views. He expressed his wish to have a child there, and Connie apologized for their inability to conceive together. Clifford suggested she have a child with another man, insisting it be strictly transactional, with no emotions involved, and the man must be discreet to preserve the Chatterley name. He likened it to a trip to the dentist, preferring not to know the details. Connie was in disbelief and asked him if he was being serious, and she told him she couldn't, because she married him and not someone else. He told her an heir would be good for the people, as well as for her to fill her days. She was in utter confusion about their conversation, and was feeling uneasy about how easily her husband had accepted this idea. Clifford was reading the newspaper, where he found a bad review of his book and expressed how he feels about life. He said he is accepting the nothingness of living. Connie was further disappointed by his words and went to the room upstairs and cut off the pictures that were hanging on the walk by a rope. Her sister, Hilda, finally came to their house concerned and asked Connie what was wrong. She noticed her pale appearance and asked her who had been taking care of her while she was taking care of Clifford. Connie told her she was exhausted. Hilda goes over to Clifford to discuss some arrangements that should be done in order to keep Connie well. She demanded he hire someone to take care of him in the meantime. She suggested a woman who used to be his caregiver when he was younger and told him Connie won't have that burden any longer. After the arrangement, Hilda went back and Connie also went out for a walk. Clifford asked her to stop at the gamekeeper's to ask if the new pheasants had begun laying. Connie went to the gamekeeper's cottage and saw him taking a shower. She smiled and waited for him to finish so that she could enter. She then goes and knocks on his door. He was surprised to see her there and offered to let her come inside. She told him why she came here. When she saw his small cottage, she admired how he lived and the books he had. He offered her flowers from his garden, and she left. She then went to the school teacher's house, the one she met in the fair. She then discovered some truths about the gamekeeper and his wife, whom he found with another man after his return from the battle, and now that he lives alone. One day, as usual, Connie was going for a walk when she heard hammering. It was the gamekeeper in a hut making new cooper for the new chicks. She really liked the hut. She asked him if she could have the key to the hut, because she would like to come and read here sometimes.
I think I'd like to sit here sometimes.
As time went by, she often started coming to the hut, using it as her secret place. Only she and the gamekeeper came there. They kept on having get-togethers with writers Clifford has communications with, and Connie, after having a disagreement in a conversation with Clifford, went out to the hut. When she got there, it was just the gamekeeper and the newly hatched chicks. She wants to hold one of the chicks but is afraid they might peck her. Seeing her struggle, the gamekeeper came up to her and held her hands gently, letting her hold one of the chicks. At first, she seemed happier, then she started having a panic attack. The gamekeeper tried to calm her, but she suddenly hugged him. She strayed, making moves at him, which he hesitantly started to follow. After a while, they were on top of each other, making love. After what just happened between them, Connie and the gamekeeper went home in awkward silence. Coming back home worried, she discovered that Clifford hadn't even noticed that she was busy with his guests. The other day, Connie waits for the gatekeeper at the hut. He told her people might become suspicious if she keeps on coming here and think low of her for being with her husband's gamekeeper. She asked him if he's scared, in which he answered yes, but not for himself. He was scared that she would be sorry for what she had been doing with him. Without even him finishing his sentence, Connie leaned in and passionately gave him a kiss. She told him they have to be quick as she has little time. He satisfied her needs, and she left quickly. He followed her and told her to drop by at his cottage tomorrow. She goes to visit her school teacher friend and accidentally runs into the gamekeeper and chooses to ignore him. He followed her and asked her why she was doing that and why she wouldn't come to his cottage. She told him they have no time. They then start making passionate love in the woods. She tells him that he is different from the men that she knows, and he tells her he feels the same. After that, they started spending more and more time together, and their relationship grew stronger. While she was at home, she noticed some signs of pregnancy. She told Clifford's caregiver that there might be a chance of an heir, and told her not to say anything.
We'll save some secrets for our next conversation.
The caregiver couldn't keep the secret and told her co-workers the news. Soon, the rumor came to Clifford, as one of his men asked him if the rumors for a new heir were true. Clifford asked Connie if she had heard the rumors, and she told him she was leaving for Venice with her sister and father and hoped she might meet someone there. Connie went to the gamekeeper's house to tell him that she would be leaving for Venice and about Clifford's plan to achieve an heir. He felt like she was using him to get an heir. They argued about it. She then comes back and explains everything. She confessed her feelings for him and promised to be by his side. They spent time in his cottage while it was raining, and on her way home, she was noticed by Clifford's caregiver, whom he sent to find her. The following day, Connie leaves with her sister to go to Venice and introduce her to the gamekeeper. Her sister was disappointed by her choice and spoke on it.
You and that German boy all over again.
After spending the night in his cottage, Connie leaves. But as she was leaving, people saw her. Connie's book was later discovered by the villagers inside of the cottage. which started a rumor about the gamekeeper and Connie. Connie by then had already left for London to meet her sister for the Venice trip, but Clifford's caregiver contacted her and told her the situation, so she decided to return to make things right. The gamekeeper was summoned by Clifford and was told to leave the property immediately due to the rumors. Connie arrived at the village and went to the gamekeeper, and they shared their goodbyes, promising he would find her once he's in a good position. Connie then hurriedly went to the house and asked Clifford for divorce while admitting the rumors. He let her go, but said he would never divorce her. She leaves the house, telling the caregiver to ask her co-workers if they have any idea where the gamekeeper might be. The woman felt empathy for her as she knew it was a true love story. She spends days in worry while in Venice as her pregnancy goes along, but she finally heard good news at last. It was a letter from the gamekeeper offering her to live with him, as he has a house and salary that might be enough for now, stating that he is ready for her and the child now. She immediately leaves and goes to find him. The movie ends in an emotional scene where she finally reunites with her lover, the gamekeeper, as he creeps behind her back and gives her a hug. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.